Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Horror Room. I'm Travis Bruce, and today we're doing another Women of Horror Spotlight. Today I have with us, she's an author. She just put out her first book. It's right now on Amazon, and it's called Can Demons Dream Of? I have with us Tiare MBC. Tiare, welcome to the Horror Room.
Hi.
Pleasure to meet you. Pleasure to meet you. Now, tell us a little bit about Can Demons Dream Of?
So, Can Demons Dream Of is pretty much based 11 short horror stories based on my nightmares. At some point in life, I was looking for something that actually scared me, and I kind of realized that my nightmares were it. So I was like, might as well write my nightmares into a book, and that's what I did. And besides the short stories, it does have artwork by two of my friends, my husband, and myself.
That's amazing. So these are all nightmares that you've had throughout your life.
Yes.
That's incredible because I'm trying to think about my nightmares, and I cannot tell you what my nightmare is about. They're not that vivid, and so your nightmares are that vivid that you can remember them throughout time.
Yeah, honestly, some of these nightmares I've had repeated times, so it gives me that extra work, to remember what's going on in the dreams. But for most of my life, I remember most of my nightmares and dreams.
Wow. So how far back does the oldest nightmare in your book goes back to?
The oldest nightmare probably when I was about 12, 13.
12, 13.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Now that is that's something that I have not heard. That's an interesting concept. Now, at what point did you decide, you know what, my nightmares are this? I mean, this would make a great book for people to read.
So it wasn't so much that I decided it was a great thing to write. It was more that my family, my parents, my sister, and my husband later on in life were very encouraging about it.
Mm-hmm.
They've heard my nightmares for I don't know how many times. Sometimes in the morning it's like, this time I had this dream about, and so they would hear it, and I've always wanted to be a writer, so they were like, why don't you just write your nightmares?
Now, is it tough for you to let the world see what your nightmares are?
I don't think so. I'm actually curious what people think about them.
And this is your first book. Now, how excited was it for you once you saw the cover and you saw it put together and you saw it on Amazon? How excited was that for you?
I was so freaking excited that I honestly did not think I would actually be able to print a book in my life, or at least not anytime soon. I've been wanting to be a writer since I was a little kid, and I've always discouraged myself, and it took a lot of people pushing me, honestly. Besides my parents and my family members, also I work at schools, and my students started also pushing me into writing, and they were like, yeah, go for it. So I was happy, especially when I the first day I immediately saw sales, so I was like, oh, that's great.
Yeah. Now, were there any nightmares that you decided to keep out the book because they were too extreme?
Not at the moment, because I am planning on writing a second one. So nice. I think I'm writing the ones that I remember in better detail that are not too vague.
Okay. Now, there's a lot of individuals who watch my show who are either new writers or they're on the cusp of writing their first book, or they need that extra little push. What is some advice that you could give them?
I would honestly just say go for it. I know that we put a lot of barriers in our heads that say don't do it because it's bad, because it's not going to sell, it's not going to... We say a lot of no's, but we got to start telling ourselves yes, honestly. And if you ask people around, especially the people that care about you, you're going to start hearing those yeses.
And this is the time to do it right now. I mean, because if you're an indie horror author, I mean, more so than any time, I mean, this is the time to do it because, with self-publishing and smaller presses and publishing houses, it's given writers that normally wouldn't be able to get their work out the opportunity. So I mean, this is definitely the time to do it.
Oh yeah, because honestly, I would not have the money to do it if I had to go like the traditional route. So being able to print on Amazon was a really good idea for me. And if things go well, I should be able to have my book in Barnes and Noble soon.
Oh, sweet, sweet. Now, what are some challenges when it comes to self-publishing?
Editing.
Editing.
Editing. I'm really bad at spelling specifically, and even like with the computer help and Grammarly, I would still miss so many spelling errors. So I did actually pay someone to edit. My husband did a lot of editing. I had some of my school teacher friends also do some editing. I had a lot of people do editing, and then my husband and I opened the book, the first copy we got, and the first page there's a mistake.
Oh. So what do you do then?
Just live with it.
Just let it go. Because I'm I talk to a lot of editors on here as well, and like it is so important. Like so, I read a lot of indie horror books, and yes, having that second pair of eyes, or even a third or fourth, for an editor, is so important. It's so important. I mean, not just even with the grammatical stuff, just the overall flow of the story.
Yeah, but probably that was the thing that took me the longest. I remember writing the book and being like, yeah, I'm done. And then I'm like, wait a minute, I gotta do editing. And I think that took way longer than I thought. And then because I was also doing artwork, it was the idea of, should I go with something that appeals to me or appeals to other people? I decided to go with what appeals to me, in a sense, because they are my nightmares after all. And for the other artwork, I told people to read the story, and I just told them make it black and white. And whatever comes to your mind, that works.
Now, as a new author, there's more and more people are going the ebook route. Have you noticed that with your book?
They're going where? Sorry?
With the ebook or the electronical digital copy?
Yeah.
Have you noticed more of that?
Yeah, I've been noticing that a lot. I also went that route because it's honestly the easiest way to start up. But I always like printed copies better, at least for me.
Me too. I'm the same way. But I mean, I do have that Kindle Unlimited thing, which at first I was feeling guilty about having that because I thought that the authors weren't getting paid anything. But I later found out that the authors actually get paid by how many pages you read. So if you're reading, they do get something. I don't know if it's the same amount as if you buy a paper copy, but they do get paid for if you read the book.
I think you actually get paid more for the ebook, if I'm not wrong. It's per
Really?
page read, but only the first read.
Okay. So that's great. I mean, I'm glad because I was feeling guilty about that for the longest time. And because, I mean, listen, I'm a book collector. I have a whole bookshelf over here of books. But it gets to a point like where it's like, I don't have no room for any more books.
No, yeah, same. Yeah, right now, I'm actually at my parents' house, so my books are kind of in my closet over here.
Mm-hmm.
But I also have another bookshelf over there in my actual apartment. So I think right now I have like maybe 1,000 books.
Yeah, I'm approaching that as well. So like my Kindle comes in handy, especially if I'm traveling. I don't want to bring a whole bunch of books with me. It definitely comes in handy. Now, Tara, have you always been a horror fan?
Yes and no. So I like horror since I was a little kid, but I kind of gave it up for a while. Not sure why exactly, but eventually some of my friends were kind of trying to They challenged themselves to find something that I would find scary. So I started reading horror books again, and I started seeing a lot of horror movies, and I couldn't really find anything that actually scared me yet. Still looking for it, except for my nightmares.
Now, when it comes to your nightmares, I mean, how intense are they? Did they wake you up in the morning? I mean, did they wake you up in the middle of the night? Are you sweating? Are you screaming?
So I sleepwalk.
I used to sleepwalk when I was younger.
Yeah, it's pretty normal for little kids to sleepwalk. When you're an adult, it's usually because of stress or genetics, and I happen to have both.
Wow. So when you're sleepwalking, you are experiencing yourself in this nightmare.
Sometimes, yes. So I do sometimes wake up also, like you said, like sweating or screaming, but it's also sometimes I know I'm in a dream and I'm not able to wake up.
And that's the worst feeling too when you're in a nightmare and you can't wake up and you start pinching yourself in the dream and you start doing all these things to wake yourself up. And one thing about about nightmares and dreams that annoy me, you can't read anything.
I think,
Like, can you?
yeah, no, yeah. Sometimes I read books in my dreams.
Really? Because I try to make out words or something in my dream and looks blurry.
I've heard that a lot from other people too.
Yeah, and that's kind of frustrating because it leaves me in a pickle because I'm like, okay, I got this text message and I don't know what it says, and like this might be important to the next level of this dream, and now I'm just stuck here or with the unknown.
Oh yeah, but whenever I have those dreams where like I can't wake up, it's like, well, I know I gotta go through the motions of it before I can get out of it.
And now, do you ever wake up and you're angry? Have you ever had a nightmare about someone, like could be your husband or someone, and you wake up angry at that person because of something they did in the dream?
Yeah. So usually my husband, I'm like, why do you do this? And he's like, you were asleep. I'm not. That's not me in like real life. I'm like, I know, but I'm still angry at like dream you.
I get married. I get mad at dream people. I really do, and I call them and tell them about themselves too. So, all right. So, if you could right now put together a book outside of your dreams, what would that look like?
So I do plan on writing another book that's not horror, and this one would be a little kind of like Dante's Inferno and the
Okay.
Divine Comedy kind of, having to do with religion.
Ooh, like in a good way or in a cult-like way?
Um, well, if I don't change my mind, the title would be called The God Replacement.
God replacement. Interesting.
Mhm.
Didn't I see a poster of this on your social media?
I don't think so.
Okay. Okay. The God replacement. That's an interesting title. So I'm looking forward to hearing about that. All right. So Tierra, as you know, this is a horror channel. So I'm gonna ask you 3 random horror questions. You
Go for
ready?
it.
All right. The first one. What horror character do you feel like you horror villain, let me put that. Horror villain, do you feel like you relate to the most? And why?
Okay, I'm not sure who I relate to, but I can tell you who I like.
Okay.
So I do like Hannibal Lecter a lot. I like
Why
that.
is that?
It's more of, maybe because I'm a psychology major, so seeing the
Mhm.
psychological aspects of it, how he goes about things, and that he's actually really smart. Well, maybe no, he's way smarter than me, but he's also a psychologist, so maybe that's where the interesting part of it comes out.
Okay.
I'm not a cannibal, that's for sure, but
No, of course not. Of course not. Listen, even if you were, you wouldn't say it on one live, or I mean, on YouTube.
so I will say that cannibalism is not illegal in the United States.
It's not?
Nope, it's not. There's no law that says cannibalism is illegal. Maiming someone, hurting or disfiguring is illegal, but not eating someone.
So if the person's already dead, well, I mean, does the person already have to be dead? Or can you just null somebody alive?
It doesn't say, it doesn't specify, so.
But if you start eating somebody alive, isn't that murder though?
I don't know, depending. If the
Okay.
finger's just there laying around, you're not murdering the person.
Okay. Interesting. By the way, I'm a mortician, so I work with dead people, so I wouldn't be eating. I don't eat
No,
people. I'm just asking some because I'm curious. So this is not for.
no, yeah. Once I was given the presentation on why cannibalism should be good. That's why I know.
Okay. Now, why should cannibalism be good? Curious.
Yeah, that I don't know why I got that specific topic for my T-shirt, but I was like, well, let's go for it.
What are some points that?
I said that starving children could be fed by their mothers. Overpopulation would decrease, and I forgot there was another point to it, but most of it was like it's fine because it would help the environment too.
Okay. You don't think it would lead to spread of diseases?
Oh, it probably will.
Yeah. Because like, I've been to a couple of African countries that practice cannibalism, and it spreads the diseases like crazy. So, yeah. But I'm pretty sure. I wonder if I've ate some human being before, because I feel like that could have been a possibility. Because I read about this. I mean, this was years ago where I lived. Probably like 10 years ago, there was a cannibal serial killer, and he owned a hot dog stand or hamburger stand, and he was murdering people, and he was making them hot dogs and hamburgers. And I don't think I ate there before, but I could have. And I mean, think about if he never got caught, I could definitely ate it. They say in Canada, the majority of the population in Canada has eaten a human being because this restaurant or this meat farm was like processing human meat. So possibility. Who knows? Don't want to know, actually.
No, yeah, there was a similar case in Mexico of a lady that would kidnap little kids, and she would make them into tamales.
Really?
I don't remember the name of the lady, but she was caught up maybe last year.
Wow. Don't want to know, but I'm pretty sure we've all probably eaten human meat at some point. Second question.
Okay.
What was the first horror movie that really scared the shit out of you, that really disturbed you?
I'm still kind of looking for that, but I think the closest would be The Medium.
Okay.
The Medium is a found footage, more like, kind of found footage. It's in, I want to say Indonesia, but I'm not sure. I don't know if it was Indonesia or Thailand.
Okay, I'm writing this one down because I have not seen it.
Yeah, it's about a girl that gets possessed and the ritual that takes place in hope of getting her unpossessed.
Ooh. Okay. Definitely gonna look for this one. And the final one is you gotta spend 30 days locked up in the house with a horror villain. Now, they're not going to kill you. Who would it be and why?
Well, maybe Freddy Krueger, because he's also dream related. At least we got a lot to talk about for those 30 days.
That's true. But you can only talk to him while you're asleep. But yeah, you got someone to talk to in your sleep.
Well, at least I'll have the day off to do whatever I want.
Yeah. And I agree. At least Freddy Krueger has a personality. He can talk to you. He's funny. He cracks jokes. Jason, Michael Myers, Leatherface, they don't talk. They have no personality. That would be boring.
Yeah, we're just going to be staring at each other, and that's kind of it. Same with, like, Leatherface and some other, like... Well, if Samara talks, maybe we can play or something, but...
Yeah. I'm picking Freddy Krueger as well. Freddy Krueger, she's my favorite horror character, so I'm definitely going to pick Freddy Krueger as well.
Yeah, one year I actually dressed up as him. I also do FX makeup, so...
Oh, nice. Nice. Now, do you do FX makeup for haunts, horror attractions, or horror movies?
Oh, no, just for Halloween purposes. I like doing FX makeup.
Oh, sweet. See, that's something I wish I had an artsy side to me. I wish I had an artistic side to me. I mean, besides making YouTube videos, but I mean, I wish I could draw or paint or something like that.
Well, it's never late to start.
That's true.
I used to be of the people that did ugly stick figures, and well, the canvas that's over there in the back, over here in the back, is actually mine.
Really? Wow. Okay.
And well, the book cover on this one, I also did it.
Really?
Mhm.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
See, I listen. I tried to like really hone in on my art skills at one point, and like even like the paint nights, I've done like the paint nights things, and my paintings still turn out horrible. Like I'm just like I don't know what it is. Like I don't know if it's attention wise, but like drawing is like definitely one of my weakest suits. But who knows? Maybe
Yeah.
I could pick up that hobby and become an excellent painter as well.
Yeah, I would say give acrylics a try. They're a little more forgiving than pencil and color pencils.
Acrylic. Okay, I'm gonna give that a try. Now, Tierra, where can everyone find you?
Sorry?
Where can everyone find you?
So I do have an Instagram. It's Tiare B03. Mostly there on Instagram. I do have an imager with the same name, but that's about it. I do have my book right now on Amazon, and later on I will have it in Barnes and Nobles. And if you find me on Facebook, that's fine too. But I go by Tiare Barraza there.
Awesome. And the link, everyone, to her book is down in the description. So please go and grab a copy. Tierra, it's been a pleasure having you on. I know I just butchered that. I was trying to say it the correct way.
No worries.
It's been a pleasure having you on, and when your next book comes on, I will love to have you back on.
Oh, thank you. That would be nice.
All right, everyone. Well, thank you for coming to the Heart Realm. I'm Travis Bruce, and that is Tierra MBC. Well, by the way, what does the MBC stand for? If I'm asking.
Oh, Mendoza Barraza Cardenas. Mendoza for my husband, Barraza for my parents and my sister, and Cardenas for my grandma.
Awesome. Grab that book, everyone.
Yes, please.
And we'll see you next time. Take care.
Thank you.